everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. I am happy you're here. Believe me, I really appreciate it, because if you weren't here, I would have no reason to share what I'm doing. I mean, that's the truth of it. So anyway, I'm making jar lids today. I'm trying to burn up this color palette. And that was my Multi-Pro 47-3110. And I get it from Home Depot, and it's a PPG product. And it's been a staple of mine for a couple years. A lot of people that do blooms use the Multi-Pro. But just FYI, I do also transition with the, I alternate between that and this Glidden that I find works fantastic. It's thinner, but it still works well. Everything holds up perfectly. So, all right, my colors. This is Golden's Iridescent Silver, and my colors are running a little thick because they've been around a while. But this is my monochromatic palette I'm working on. So I'm starting out with the Iridescent Silver as the bottom base color. After that, I'm putting on this color that's a combination of Modern Masters Iridescent Pearl White and Golden's Shading Gray. Very subtle difference between the two. This is my Chantilly Lace combination. It's Chantilly Lace by Prism Pour, and also some Amsterdam's Pearl White. And my last color is Golden's Carbon Black. All right, let's give it some cell activator. Now this, here's the Carbon Black. I just mixed it up. This is my Australian Floetrol cell activator. Now, if you weren't able to get the Australian or didn't want to spend the money, I have an American Floetrol cell activator, Video 141, that works absolutely the same. It works just as well. My problem is, if you want to call it a problem, I've got so much of this Australian from the Fluidart experience, I have to do something with it. So that's Australian, a titanium white, oxide black. See how fast it sinks? Get blowing quick. So I'm going to point out the obvious here. When you lay down the cell activator, you want to get it in the center, and you want to get the black right on top of the white as you get ready to blow it out. And then what I always do is I blow straight down into that cell activator to start to form a circle. And then I blow that ridge that's formed in all directions until I get all of it spread out, mostly close to the edge, in this case, of the jar lid. I don't want to go over the jar lid if I can, because when I spin it, that will take care of stretching out the composition. Partway into this blow, I forgot that I was using the monochromatic colors, and I was thinking to myself, where are all the colors? Well, Dippo, they're not here. So anyone new who's wondering what I'm doing, I'm blowing through the straw to puff air down onto the cell activator in the center to start to stretch it out a little bit more over the colors and help those colors push through from the bottom to create the cells. Because the cell activator is starting to get a little bit older, might be getting a little bit thick, sometimes you have to help conjure it up a bit. Come back. Let's give it a spin. And I have my lids on these little 3-ounce cups because I just have them. Right now they're taped like this, and they're just hard to pick up from the 2-ounce lid that I normally put it on. So I just want to point out also that the taller you go with the lid, the more of a chance it is going to tip over. So you got to be careful about the spinning. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty on a basic level. And I'm going to get into the little groove that's there. I've shown that in other videos. I'll probably only show you a little bit, but cut a lot of it out. Got to make sure you get into that little groove when you're blowing, when you're stretching your paints out. And then you got to make sure you get underneath where the tape meets up. So I got the tape on the bottom. You got to make sure that this underneath part gets covered up too. So I'm going to try to explain this as clearly as possible. As I'm blowing into that little crevice, what I'm looking for is like a little air bubble that starts to push to one side as you're blowing on it. If you start to see this weird air bubble, you want to definitely pop it. Get a toothpick or something and pop it. Otherwise, when this piece starts to dry, you'll get an air bubble and you'll have a split in the paint, and then you'll have to try to fix it before you resin it. And that's not fun. But yeah, you got to be very careful about making sure that there are no air bubbles left between where the top of the jar is and the bottom ridge is, where that groove forms. I'm going to try to illustrate it with a drawing, but it's almost like the paint from the top kind of skips over the groove and then leaves an air bubble if you're not careful. These are so quick and fun and versatile. So here I'm just blowing underneath to get up to where the tape is, and I have an illustration here to show where I'm blowing. Just like I do with my ornaments, you have to blow underneath to get it fully covered. All right, I think we're about done. All right, everybody, here we go. My first monochromatic airtight jar lid type. I'll be back for the resin results. So everyone, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and a lot of the up close and personal about how I get in the grooves and how the paint flow over the grooves might cause a problem. If you're new here and enjoyed this and like to see more, please subscribe, hit the bell and all. You'll get all my latest tutorials. Leave a comment. I always get back to everybody, and a thumbs up is always appreciated. At the end of this video, I'm going to have a link to my jars playlist so you can see other color combinations and other jars themselves, including canisters. And if you are interested in resin, I do have a discount code for 10% off of my KS Resin Liquid Stone in the description with a link there. So that's all for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.